Hey guys, Danny here, and this is my next new project. It's a 2010 Chevy Malibu. It's a little bit crashed, but I got a pretty good deal at it from my buddies at Copart. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is my actual next project. It's a 1987 Porsche 944S. It's the dual overhead cam 16 valve model, so it's a little less common, but still pretty sweet. So the backstory is that I found this while I was browsing Craigslist about maybe a year ago. I was just looking for something small and light and cheap to mess around with, so I found this on Craigslist in Tucson for about $1,000. Well, it was listed for $1,400, but I got it for $1,000. In any case, I went down to Tucson, checked it out, saw that it was a 944S. The ad actually said it was a regular 944, so scored there. And yeah, the rest was history. I mean, I bought it non-running. It's got 114,000 miles on it. Hasn't run since around 2011, I'd say. That's 6 years of not running, so we'll see how well this works when we fix it up. But yeah, so I towed it up here from Tucson. It stayed at my friend's backyard for about a year now, and that's why it's so dirty. It's got that real, barn find patina, except, it sat outside for all this time, so it's not in great shape. But the paint was pretty bad when I got it anyways, so it didn't get any worse. But yeah, let me show you around a little bit. It's got a pretty clean interior as far as the the age goes. It's a 5-speed manual, like most of these were. I mean, they made these in an automatic, but you'd have to be brain dead to get one of those. Steering wheel's not in great shape, but that's to be expected. Door panels could use a little bit of love. But I mean, come on, this car's 30 years old. I mean, the interior's definitely been done up because those seats look to be way too nice to be original. And I'm fine with that. I didn't buy this car for like numbers matching originality. I bought it to have fun with it. So let's pop the hood real quick and I'll show you what makes this thing tick. Alright, so what we have here under the hood is a 2.5 liter inline 4 fuel injected engine. From the factory, it was rated at 187 horsepower. Not sure what the torque figures are, but I'll add those onto the video. And yeah, this was the 16 valve version because it had the dual overhead cam engine. Most of these came with a single overhead cam engine, making something like 150 horsepower. So this gives you a little more power, which is always much appreciated. Though it's a pretty light car. It's about 2,700 pounds if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, everything's here. I mean, the air filter box, I have it at my friend's house. I do have that. This expansion tank thing definitely needs to be replaced. That's cracked and horrible looking. But I mean, everything else is pretty much present and accounted for. And yes, the pop-up headlights do work. There's no battery there right now. I haven't had this thing powered up in about a year now. Basically, as of right now, the engine cranks, but it does not fire up. So I'll have to figure that out, but I'll do that in the next video once I have a little more time to mess around with this. It uses a distributor with, spark plug wires and all that. It's pretty old school distributor rotor system. Should be pretty easy to work with. Normally it has hood struts to keep it open, but those are bad, so got this trusty bar here doing the job, making sure the hood doesn't kill me because it's already tried. Look how much redder the paint is under the hood than it is on the rest of the car. That's what it's supposed to be. This is Guards Red. It's non-metallic. I think it's a single stage paint. So I actually might be able to buff this out. I've seen Larry Casilla at Ammo NYC. I've seen him buff out a Guards Red 911 from a similar generation, 1980s. So this might actually turn out okay. The mirror on this side is alright, but as you saw, the mirror on the other side is not alright. It's hanging loose. Though, props to it for hanging on all the way from Tucson to here. But I might just get a used one. I mean, there's plenty of these in Guards Red, and I think the mirror is interchangeable for pretty much any year. So I should be able to use that. The tires are dry rotted, so aside from maybe a short test drive once I get this running, I'm not going to use those. I'm going to get new ones. Those tires are ancient, and they're flat. I mean, they hold air, but they are not good tires. They were old when I got this a year ago, and they're even older now. So that's that. But yeah, the interior is decent, as I said before. There's a modern head unit in there. The sunroof only stays put because of gravity. It does not actually close or stay closed, so I'll have to figure that out. The hatch does not open, so I'll have to figure out what's up with the latch there. And actually, this thing was sitting for so long that, yep, there's grass, actual grass growing out of the bumper. May not be a barn find, but it sure seems like a farm find, huh? The underside here looks pretty clean. There's no rust. I mean, these weren't really known for rust to begin with, but it's pretty clean under here. So what are my plans for this car? Well, obviously, I'm gonna make it into a drift car, bro. It's gonna go sideways so much. No, not really. I'm not that kind of YouTuber. If that's what you were looking for, look elsewhere. Now, I'm just gonna try and fix this up, make it as nice as it was back in 1987. We're gonna fix it up, we're gonna restore it as much as I can, you know. If we need to do paint work, we'll do some paint work. I'm gonna try and buff the paint and see what happens with that. But the first priority is gonna be getting this engine running. Then after the engine runs, I'm gonna have to figure out the hydraulic system. The caliper on the front driver's side wheel, the brake line just broke right off the caliper with the little caliper nipple thing, so I'm gonna have to replace the caliper, and I guess I'll replace both of the front calipers. There's a good Porsche salvage yard not too far from here, so I'm gonna hit them up and see if they can help out, maybe get a mirror as well. That'd be nice. And then basically after the engine's running, after the brakes are sorted, I'm gonna have to figure out what's up with the clutch, because right now it's to the floor. It might just need hydraulic fluid, you know, probably all ran out when the brakes went bad. So I'll have to check that. And once that's good, we'll have to check the transmission's fine, which I think it is. And then we'll finally be able to drive this thing. So it'll be a bit of a long journey, but I'm excited. You know, I've been looking forward to working on something kind of like this for a while now, like a real sort of project instead of, you know, a modern car that just needs a few little things done here and there. I mean, this is modern enough, but this is pretty basic as far as, you know, technology goes. Yeah, it's fuel injected, but the computer is about as fancy as a, you know, pocket calculator. There are no airbags, there's no ABS, there's no safety nannies, just you, the steering wheel, and a 5-speed manual transmission. Well, I'm excited. Are you? Let me know in the comments below, and, you know, do the usual like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want. And I will see you in the next video.